Good morning. Another Fred Whitton Q&A. Today I'm off to go meet Iain Childs from KCC, Kendal Cycle Club, and also Momentum Cycling. I'll have to check. Right, got the school run to do first now.
So what's the betting? He's wearing an orange Rafa puffer jacket. So before the questions started, we talked injuries and also how Kendal Cycle Club started.
You're still hobbling a bit?
Normally, and then it just goes, just slow down a bit, mate.
Yeah.
I put a Facebook page out,
Yeah.
a call one weekend. I said, how would you be, anyone in Kendal thinking of setting up a cycle club, and that weekend there was about 180 people liked.
Wow.
So I thought that's maybe a bit of interest.
Yeah.
So then we had a bit of a meeting, and about, I forget how many people turned up, but a good 20 people say, and thought, there's a bit of interest here, so let's have another meeting.
And how many members are there now?
I believe just over 800.
Snowballed a bit then, hasn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit. At least a third are female riders.
That's
as well.
good. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then you've got a huge junior section as well. So.
Iain Childs from Kendal Cycle Club. This is your first Fred Whitton question. Question 1. How many Fred Whittons have you done? And if you've done more than one, is there a particular one that stands out?
So I've done the Fred Whitton twice, and both are quite memorable. I did the first one in 2013, and that was probably the wettest and the worst weather they'd had for 20 plus years on the event. It was really quite horrific, and there was quite a few people bailing out, certainly in the latter stages. It was very cold and very wet. And then I decided to tackle it again in 2018, and was certainly more prepared for it this time. Although I wasn't prepared for, firstly, my chain breaking on the long drag down to Keswick, which meant a 400-metre walk back to retrieve it from the road and fix it. And then all was well until I got to the bottom of Hard Knot, and the chain broke again, but this time it sent the derailleur into the back wheel and damaged that. So it was a long walk from the bottom of Hard Knot to the finish. I was determined not to bail, so I did a little bit of a mountain bike experience fix on the chain and made it a single speed, which is fine going downhill and on level ground, but on any slight uphill it was off and walking.
Did you say the second one was the best one?
Well, funnily enough,
I misheard the beginning.
Funnily enough, it was a beautiful day.
It's certainly the most character building.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day, and once the majority of people do it for a time.
Yeah.
But once I realised, look, you're not going to do a time here, or the time that you thought you were going to do, then you kind of just chill out and relax into it. I was okay, I hadn't hurt myself. I did have my road cleats on, and quite a lot of people say, you should wear mountain bike shoes or flat times because then it helps with walking. But I was determined I wasn't going to walk, ironically. Yeah, I just did it.
Well done for sticking at it and finishing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think if it had been really horrible weather and stuff, I probably wouldn't have done, but yeah.
So question 2 then, which of the following do you pay most attention to when it's the training, the build-up, leading into the Fred, and even on the day as well? Is it nutrition, pacing or tech? Is there something that makes you a little bit twitchy or something you really have to focus on?
Well, as a coach, and I was working with a rider through it, and it's quite the hardest is the pacing.
Yeah.
Because you're super fired up for it first thing in the morning, and that first climb up Kirkstone can be you can really
get carried away
up that, and there's a long 100+ miles still to go. So pacing I think is super important. Also, you've got a lot of long drags between the climbs. A lot of people fixate about these climbs, but actually you've got a lot of steady roads to mileage to put in. So definitely that, and definitely nutrition, just eating all the time, food that you've trialled beforehand, stuff that you like, because you are out on the bike for a long day. It's not the time to be trying to lose weight or whatever.
Put fuel in. So question 3 then, What is your favourite on the bike food?
Ooh. Sometimes it's bagel with marmalade, something that's really quite dry. If it's a long ride and I've had a lot of sweet stuff,
Yeah.
I will have just sometimes or sultanas, natural. Well, doesn't have natural bagel is, but
The closest to natural.
yeah,
non-packeted
bananas,
sort of food.
stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I think, on a long ride, you've just got to really mix it up. You can also find that you find with solid food early on, and then you need to move more to sort of energy drink type stuff.
Yeah.
But ask any dentist out there, and they'll tell you that energy drinks are not the best idea.
Yeah.
But as a one-off type, or you've trialled it a little bit, towards the end can sort of give you that boost.
Right, moving on then. Question 4. What is your favourite or worst part of the route? I.e. climbs, views or anything else?
Well, given the first time I didn't see a lot of it because of the weather, the second time, yeah, enjoy the climbs, I enjoy the descents. It's Lakelands, it's beautiful. It's a unique.
It's an awesome route, I think.
It's phenomenal route, and it's even to do it as a 2-day tour or whatever, just to experience that, you just see the whole of the Lake District.
So this isn't important, I don't think, when it comes to the questions, but what is your best time?
Okay, so
Well, maybe it is important. It's probably important to you, I don't know. Everybody's different.
So the second time, ride time was 8.5 hours.
Yeah.
And that would include the walking parts. So the first time I did it in...
So your moving time then?
Yeah, so the first time I did it, I was nearly 8.5, 9 hours.
Yeah.
So the second time I did it, I would have been definitely on for a much better
Yeah.
time. That's one of the big things, I think, if you're looking for a time, is to be careful of how often you stop.
Yeah, well that actually leads perfectly on to question 6, I would guess, because question 6 is, have you any gems, any cycling secrets or advice that you'd share that would help me for my Fred Whitton this year, or anybody else doing a Fred, or any other big rides or sporties?
Yeah, there's a few, a couple.
So I know the average speed thing about the stopping is in my head. I don't want to be stopping for feed zones and getting chatting and having to queue for water and things. I just want to be bashing on.
It depends what you're aimed to do, for what reason, why you're doing it. If you're doing it as a social thing, great. If you're doing it for a time, then there's certainly things you can do. Certainly be prepared to have done some longer rides in your training, so that you're used to sitting on your bike for a long period. Partly physical, but majority is mental. Yeah. Especially, because it's a long day and you will have moments within that. But certainly, yeah, the how much you stop, you can lose a huge chunk of time at feed stations, as great as sometimes they are. You could waiting for water, chatting with people. There's 20 minutes gone, half an hour gone.
There's 2,500 other people out there, so you're bound to bump into someone you know. You
Yeah.
can't be rude and say, sorry, gotta go.
No, and you'll meet some fantastic people, and some people will be chatty as you go along, and that's a really nice support, and you'll get into little groups and stuff, but go at your pace. Just don't get carried away with going with a group 50 miles in thinking, yeah, this is me, I'm going to smash this. Yeah. And actually 10 miles on,
the wheels just fall off.
And if you've got a little bit of mechanical knowledge, although people will be supportive throughout, care on the descents, but yeah, definitely watch how often you stop.
Yeah, cool, fantastic. Well, thanks, Iain. That is your 6 questions. There is one that I have asked as a surprise question.
Okay.
And I only remembered after I got home after meeting Toby in the last video. But the question is, that you maybe aren't aware of, is do you shave your legs?
I have done in the past, yeah. Why, I don't know.
Well, that's fine, you don't have to go into it if it's for aesthetics or...
Well, it is a bit of aesthetics, but I mean, I mountain bike and ride and a road ride as well, so those two are not, shaving legs wise are not seen as the same, so you can have some funny looks.
Well, you don't have to answer that one seriously, because that is like the comedy question, so
yeah,
thank you very much. I won't put you on the spot and ask you all the ins and outs.
There's some interesting ones on that.
Cool, right, thank you very much, Iain, I appreciate your time.
No problem, thank you.
Have a good day, and we'll see you on the road.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cheers. Is it
You've
5?
got 6 minutes.
What's my quickest way?
Where are you
Up
going?
through there to M&S. Eh? Going to Brew Brothers.
So there we go, another Fred Whitton Q&A done and dusted. So that's Iain from KCC. Details for the club are in the description below, and my Patreon stuff and my social media stuff. Have a look, comment, like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.